Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. This is a series of spotlights on remarkable business intermediaries and exit planning advisors from across the country. Joining me on this segment is Michael Crawford. He's the co-founder of Entrust Wealth Advisors. Michael, welcome to the program.
Thanks so much, Mark. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your work and also tell us specifically who are the types of clients that you specialize in helping?
Sure. So we are a multifamily office. We have about 80 families that we serve, and we do everything for them that touches money. So from investing to estate planning, we generally form teams to help us, but we're their single point of contact or quarterback for everything that touches finances in their life. Generally, the people we work with have either owned a business, currently own a business, or retired from selling their business.
So these entrepreneurs, great at growth, but when it comes time to exiting or selling the business, how much thought do they put into that? Are they prepared?
Usually not enough thought. As you said, they're growing the business over time, trying to figure out how to increase sales, cut costs, do whatever they need to do. And then they don't, it takes a lot of planning to figure out the proper way to get out of a business and maximize your after-tax take and accomplish the goals you want to accomplish.
What's the preconceived notion out there? Do people really understand the importance of planning for this exit, or what's on the mind of entrepreneurs and business owners? What are they thinking?
They seem to think that they don't have time to sit down and take a step back and try and figure out what they want to accomplish. And they think that they can get it done in a few months, when in fact, it takes you quite a while to get your business into a saleable condition, understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish with the sale of the business, and then execute on that.
Tell me some of the pitfalls. If they're not properly planned, what could happen to them or inadvertently sabotage their exit? What are some pitfalls?
Pitfalls are not having your accounting situation in great shape. You need to have books that are going to be examined by a private equity firm or somebody else. So they need to be at least reviewed financials by a CPA firm. A lot of people don't have that. They have a bookkeeper that does it. They just don't have the need for it prior to going to sale. So accounting is an issue. Also, succession planning is a gigantic issue. You need to figure out how to make sure that your business is something that can be run without you. And most likely you haven't done that before. And then lastly, you need to understand what you're going to do post-sale, because we've seen a lot of situations where you sell the business and now you've got too much time on your hands and you don't know what you're going to do with it. There's only so much golf you can play and so much traveling you can do. So you need to understand how much money you need to continue to live the lifestyle you want to, and then what you're going to do with all this free time.
Let's unpack that a little bit. The motivation for this series was to shed light on the services and the benefits of working with an exit planning advisor. Can you I know it's a broad question, but could you give us a 10,000-foot view on how an exit planning advisor will come in and help that business owner get that plan together?
Sure. The first thing we would do is to understand what they're trying to accomplish. So if they need they need X dollars to live every year, we need to figure out how much money after taxes that needs to be, so that at a decent rate of return, you can meet your financial goals. So that's the first thing we do, is we understand what we need to accomplish. Then we'll put a team together with the business owner in order to get those accounting functions in order, understand get a banker, make sure that if they want to give money to charity or give money to their children, that we're passing this along in an efficient way. So really, I guess, setting the goals, understanding the objectives, and then coming up and putting a team together to accomplish those goals. Those are kind of the main places where you start.
Now, we know the last couple of years, the pandemic has had impact on business owners. How has that impacted exit planning and, businesses preparing to exit now? What have you seen?
Well, I mean, the pandemic has been a blessing for many businesses and, a curse for others. So some people who never thought that one example is a mortgage business. where somebody was going to exit for a certain number. The business went crazy during the pandemic because the housing situation just got out of hand. So they processed a tremendous amount of mortgages with those low rates, and the valuation increased dramatically. And so therefore we had to sort of strike while the iron was hot and make sure that we got everything done very quickly to position it for sale just at the right time.
Michael, what inspired you to get into this field and help business owners with everything that touches money and their exit planning? How did you get started?
I got started just, because I was mathematically oriented. I was interested in investments and also kind of the estate planning and taxation side. I was an accounting major. I used to be an accountant. And so melding all of those together seemed like an interesting way to do this. And then naturally, business owners are a great target market because, of course, they're well off, they're smart, they're aggressive and interested in maximizing wealth and being efficient with taxes. And so that's kind of how the practice shaped itself.
Before I ask you my last question, Michael, is there anything that I didn't think to ask that you feel is important to share with business owners listening that are considering exiting or selling their business now or in the near future?
I would just say that people should realize the process takes much longer than you think it should. If you're going to sell your business in a year or two, maybe two years is probably a great time to put a team together and start beginning to understand what it is you want to accomplish, because you're going to need to most likely make some changes in the business. You may need to hire in some folks to be successors. You may need to get your accounting fixed. You may need to discuss things with your children in terms of gifting and whatnot. So my advice is do things well in advance because there's a lot of planning that goes into it.
For business owners listening who resonate with your message, know they need to get their stuff in order and like to speak with you, how do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Well, we can go to our website, which is www.entrustwealthadvisors.com. We're in San Diego, California. You can reach us at 858-257-4646 or send me an email at mcrawford@entrustwealthadvisors.com.
Michael, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today. And I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thanks so much for having me, Mark. It was great to speak to you.
That was Michael Crawford, co-founder of Entrust Wealth Advisors. And this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.